we're discussing this letter to Brahmanand Prabhu, LA, 8th February 1968. Quite pretty much early in ISKCON history. And Prabhupada writes in this letter. I'll just start right away. That's all. So Prabhupada writes, My dear Brahmanand, please accept my blessings. In fact, I think so you all know who was Brahmanand Prabhu.
Yes, I think he passed away just...
he just passed away in Vrindavan.
He was a little bit huge.
Yeah. And he was quite dynamic preacher. He was preaching in America and he was sent to Europe also for some time, perhaps, I guess so. And then he was in management and one of the few initial sannyasis of ISKCON. So Prabhupada is saying, My dear Brahmanand, please accept my blessings. Your letter dated February 5, 1968 is just in hand. Interestingly, at that time there were no emails and people were writing letters, and Prabhupada was very sincere in replying back to letters. That was his uniqueness, because generally if you get so many letters, it's difficult to reply to everything, But he used to reply it. It is very pleasing to me to see how your heart is working in Krishna consciousness. So you see, Prabhupada, these letters will help you to actually really make a connection with Prabhupada. If you want to make a connection with Prabhupada, this is the place you have to come. By reading his books, you can understand him, but by reading his letters, you can really connect to him face to face, heart to heart. That's because he's saying, it is very pleasing to me see how your heart is working in Krishna consciousness. So actually, you know what, I was reading the other day, Prabhupada also tells in one of his letters that, so I think one of the devotees, his name was 𝗪𝗂𝗪 Anand Swami. He came from America to India to meet Prabhupada. Prabhupada was that time in India. And he was telling that there was one more devotee who was initially in corporate sector, and he was trying to he was trying to install a management policy in America ISKCON, and he was planning to centralize everything. Actually, he only 𝗪𝗂𝗪 Anand Swami. He had a training in corporate, and with one of his friend in corporate, he was doing this. So they asked Prabhupada, we are trying to centralize ISKCON. Prabhupada said, no. Don't centralize it. Keep every center separately. Let every center be under temple president, where he wants to serve, other devotees under his guidance. As far as GBC is concerned, they should just inspire people to remain pure. That should be their job, to see whether people are following four regulative principles. In fact, that's not what they're doing now. Something else is happening. But management should be under local control. It should not be under central control. Why? Because Prabhupada said, because then people will lose spirit of service. So Prabhupada said, in corporate sector, it is in central control, and people keep on doing because they need, they know we get money, but they are not getting anything. So Prabhupada said, if you control it too much, then people will leave. People have to come from their own. So if you have a control, local control, central control, then middle control, then they will say, come on, what's happening? So Prabhupada said, the secret of success of my movement was that I never controlled it. I always request, Prabhupada always says, it's my request that you preach. And then Prabhupada said, I gave them the idea and they executed the plan. They filled in the details. I just give them idea, okay, you do like this and do it. And then he left them. So then they could come from their own side. That is very interesting, and that is why Prabhupada says, I am very much hopeful of your future glories in matter of propagating this transcendental movement. So he gave a plan. Whenever devotee used to come, he used to give a plan. At least that should be done. Because generally what happens is, there are two extremes. Either you control, or other extreme is, okay, do whatever you want. That's what happens, no? But both are wrong. You should not control. At the same time, you should give a plan. Okay, you can do like this, like this, like this, and you choose and now do. That's very important for a leader. That is one leadership quality, because I have also seen personally that either you do what we want, my way or highway. That's was a question. But that happens in institutions, in every, even in small groups, that happens. But that should not be like that. It should be like giving some advice, okay, requesting them like this, and actually giving them a vision. That's what leader does. Okay, our vision is to make, for example, 100 Bhakti Vriksha program here. For example, this is the vision. Because common man, generally they don't have vision. Okay, and then we can do it like this, like this, like this. So you decide how to do it and execute it. That's it. And any help from our side, we're ready to give. It's not that, okay, this is a vision, you have to execute like this, and then somebody comes, Prabhu, I need help. Well, you have to do yourself. Then that's a problem. But Prabhupada didn't do like that. That Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj, Prabhupada said, okay, you preach to scientists, vision. Second, he said, okay, you open an office in Juhu, BI. One whole floor should be there. That's a plan. And then, what do you want to execute this plan? So Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, probably $10,000 a month. Was said, okay, give him. But then he has to do everything. Then no interference. You do whatever, you execute it. Not that again and again, okay, what is happening? You're doing this, like this, like this. No, then that's bad. Give them freedom. So that's what Prabhupada is saying, that I am very much hopeful of your future glories in matter of propagating this transcendental movement. Because they do themselves, so they have the credit. And they are glorified. They feel that yes, I did something for Krishna, and then their glories increases. Your remark that we cannot make Krishna our order supplier is very appropriate. That's okay. We should always try to supply everything to Krishna, and we shall try to avoid any return by Krishna. This is a devotee. He feels happy to give Krishna, but he feels very sad when Krishna does for him something. To ask him a favor, and even if Krishna does something without a favor, anyway he'll do. And if a devotee understands, okay, Krishna is doing this, so many things for me, actually he's doing so many things, he feels sad about that Krishna has to serve me. So because he feels sad about that Krishna is already serving me so much, that is why devotee he avoids any return by Krishna. Already he is doing so much. So why should we ask another favor? That's the idea. So he avoids. And because he has this, he's obliged to Krishna because he is doing so much for him. He just want to give him. And that's the idea. Try to give, not to take. Most of us are taking and not giving. No. And that's our disease in material world, and now in semi-quasi spiritual world. Something like this, not a spiritual word. So like that we took holy name, we take prasad, we take association of devotees, we take knowledge from Bhagavatam, we take deity worship, we take deities. And what do you give? Just think what you are giving. We are giving negligible, we are taking more. And that's why Krishna doesn't really love us. But it was not, Prabhupada was different. He was giving. He was always giving. He gave Bhagavatam. He gave ISKCON. He gave so many devotees.
He gave Krishna.
He gave Krishna. He is giving letters, guidance. So you have to make a chart. How much you are taking, how much you are giving. If that giving weighs more than taking, then Krishna loves you. Otherwise, okay. Continue like that. That's what Prabhupada says.
So how do we give, Prabhuji? What are can you tell us?
Yes, what Prabhupada said, do like me.
Preaching.
And then book distribution. Reading is you are taking. You are taking to give. You are taking energy, understanding to give. You are just taking. So, and then helping other devotees to advance. That's all giving. Writing books, just like we do. So that's giving. So you have to plan to give. You take to give. If you don't take, you will not be able to give, first of all.
Right.
But take to give, don't stop in taking. And that's why we generally don't advance, because you're always downloading, not uploading. Just keep on downloading. So Prabhupada says we should always try to supply everything to Krishna. We should try to avoid any return by Krishna. That's the idea. That is Vaishnava philosophy. In one sentence. Give him, don't take. This is full Vaishnava philosophy. The gopis and Radharani served Krishna without any expectation of material or spiritual profit. What is this verse in Bhagavad Gita? Can anybody tell? The devotee doesn't want material or spiritual profit, both. What do you say? You can't figure it out? Okay, think about this. Homework for you. Today evening or tomorrow I'll ask you. Okay, without any expectation of material or spiritual profit, both. So what is material profit? Of course we understand. What is spiritual profit?
Love of Krishna?
No. We want love of Krishna. That's what we are working for. This is liberation.
Oh.
Liberation. With no material, no spiritual profit. They never expected any return from Krishna, and Krishna remained ever indebted to gopis.
So when you say they don't want liberation, means we want liberation. We want to get liberated from material contamination and everything. Then only we can achieve love.
No, liberation means liberation from birth, death, disease, old age.
Oh, okay.
This is liberation. Yeah, this liberation. Liberation, we don't want this. No problems. We can remain here, but we have to serve him. But contaminations, that's a different thing.
No.
So they never expected anything returned from Krishna, and Krishna remained ever indebted to gopis. This is the way to actually bind him, to control him. If you don't try to control him, he will come under your control. If you try to control him, he will say, I will not come under. That's a trick of controlling somebody. It's just like Prabhupada gives example of a good wife. If a wife doesn't try to control husband, and she is humbly following, husband will come under control of wife. And if she wants to control him, then no chance, then there will be fight. So that's what actually traditionally the mother of the girl, she used to teach her and send that just do whatever your husband wants, and that's how you'll be able to control him. That's the idea here. So that's same with Krishna. We can control him if we don't want to control him. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exacted the worship of method of gopis, and Deva Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said the best method of worship is worship of gopis. He says in Krishna book, the best way you can worship Krishna as gopis are worshipping him. And what is their worship? Their worship is they want to give to him, not take. And give to him without any expectation of return. So that's their whole philosophy. Just give. Don't worry about what you're getting back. Keep on giving. Keep on serving. And Krishna, when he tries to understand the heart of gopis, that is a transformation of Krishna into Lord Chaitanya. That's beautiful explanation. Prabhupada says, I am very much pleased to learn that things, Prabhupada is now coming to management, that things in New York are going very nicely under your supervision, and do not see any urgent reason that you shall go to India immediately. See, Prabhupada is actually guiding everything. Although he is so far sitting in, where he is writing from? San Francisco? Okay. So, and this is San Francisco? LA, LA. He is writing from LA. And Brahmanand, Prabhu, he is in New York. So, and he is guiding everything. Okay, fine. So there's no reason to go to India. Probably Brahmanand Prabhu might have requested, I want to go to India, in his letter. Prabhupada says, no, there's no reason, remain in New York. Prabhupada was actually, he was a very good manager and very good guide, both. And he could actually forevision which person is fit for which service. That is another quality of a leader. He knows which person has to be sent for what service, qualified for which service. He could actually really see and put him there. That's what he could. So just like Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he started his book distribution party at one point of time. Damodar party is to call, bus party. And Prabhupada said, you just stop everything. He was distributing many books, thousands of books. Prabhupada said, stop it. Then Tamal Krishna Maharaj says, Prabhupada, we are distributing so many books. And the another uniqueness of Damodar party was, wherever he used to go, he used to get a brahmacharis. They used to join him, bus party, American. So he had 20, 30 nice brahmacharis. Exact figure I don't know, but it was quite good chunk. And distributing many books day and night. And Prabhupada was very happy when Prabhupada told him, forget all these things. You come and manage. I need you in India.
So somebody else continued with that.
So somebody else was continuing. So he, I don't know what happened after that to it. It stopped or something happened. It got stopped. But then Tamal Krishna Maharaj was doing management in India, Mayapur and other places. And he was required, was a very good manager. And without him, it was difficult to manage things. So Prabhupada said, okay. Prabhupada engaged him in management where he was required. And there he could do better. He was doing better there, but here he could do best. That's the idea. So that should be a leader. Leader should always try to see what qualities they have and engage them according to their qualities. Leader should not expect that people will figure out themselves. That's a wrong expectation. And then you say, no, Prabhu, you didn't do that. You could have done that nicely. Why did you think? Well, I can't think. That's the first point, That's why I'm here. People can't think. We can't assume people can think. Nobody can think. People just keep on doing things. You have to tell them. You think like this, like this, like this. That's counseling basically. So Prabhupada says, you are sincere, pure soul, Krishna will give you transcendental counsel. Olo. Counsel, what is that? As you shall require from time to time. So spiritual master gives counsel and Krishna also gives counsel. He doesn't speak, but he inspires from the heart. You should do like this, like this. So just like Prabhupada was in India, there was a big Pandal program, that Bombay? Big Pandal program. Yeah. So Prabhupada, one day, he did a marriage on the stage in front of 10,000 people. You can imagine. Devotees asked Prabhupada, what is this? Prabhupada said, Krishna told me last night. So Krishna gives counsel.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't follow what it is to be.
No, Prabhupada did a marriage in Pandal program in front of everybody. And then he told, Krishna told me last night. So Krishna gives counsel. Krishna gives counsel if you are pure. And unless devotees give counsel. So it's our duty to give counseling to people who are with us. Not just leave them. Because that's what Krishna does and he expects from us also. So we must be asking. So just like your Bhakti Vikasa, we are just like speaking philosophy. But then you are supposed to even ask them, is there any problem? Nobody asked that, no? Nobody asked that. Is there any problem? Is there anything you need help? Or personally, not in a public. Personally you have to ask everybody. Everybody is different. And then they have to be helped, or if they're feeling space out, they have to be given a vision, some service. Otherwise people go crazy. So I have seen the Life magazine article. Prabhupada continues. The picture have come very sublime, and imperceptibly they have admitted a super excellence of chanting Hare Krishna. What is this? Anyway, I think Prabhupada might have started. I think Brahmanand Prabhu might have started Life magazine, not Back to Order, but Life magazine in New York, and he was printing pictures, and probably he was And probably he wrote an article on chanting Hare Krishna. And Prabhupada is very happy. Now, one point to note is, these people, it's 1968. And ISKCON started in?
65. 66.
Yeah, 66. It's just 2 years. And they are printing magazine, writing article. So Prabhupada always encouraged people to, like, who will tell anybody just 2 years, to write article? And nobody will say. They'll say you have to become mature, you'll write nonsense. But Prabhupada wanted to encourage them. That's the idea. Just like we encourage children. Our children, no, do this, do this. He'll not be able to do, but you encourage. And that's a good coach. Coach always encourages, not discourage. Even if coach knows he is just doing nonsense, still he say, very good. Is it? It's like children, no? So Prabhupada exactly knew how to encourage. He never discouraged. He said, no problem, write. Anyway, so much nonsense is coming in this world, no? So many magazines. Even if you print nonsense, it doesn't make any difference. But at least you will start applying your brain and putting your energy in Krishna. And in that way, you will learn. So that's why Prabhupada gave sannyas to people who were just 2 years. That book, so Bhakti Charu Maharaj, he got sannyas in just 1.5 years of joining movement. And people were not really happy with him. Like all senior devotees. And they complained to Prabhupada. In just 1.5 years, what is this? Prabhupada then chastised them. No, I want to give, so you can't challenge my decision. So Prabhupada was like that. But now it doesn't happen like that. No? Now people say, okay, fine, you have to be mature and like this. And if you do this, so if you do this service, you'll mess it up. No, let him mess it up. What's the problem? Unless it's very, not a big fiasco, a big frustration after that, or a big consequence, let him mess it up. Nobody is going to learn anything without failing. It doesn't happen. Everybody who has learned, who has become success, he stood on a foundation of failures. Otherwise you don't learn. Mahatma Gandhi, he tried in Africa, he failed, and then he succeeded. And he came to India with the same model. He tried, initially failed, and then he succeeded. So everybody fails. So let them fail. You can't say, if you fail, no, you'll mess it up. Come on. So first try, we have to be successful or what? No problem, let them fail. That Prabhupada is teaching. Okay. You have marked it that they have said, chanting of Hare Krishna continues to vibrate the brain for several days. In the article might have written, vibrate. It's a funny language. See this new people, how they are writing? Chanting of Hare Krishna continues to vibrate the brain for several days. Prabhupada would not have written this kind of statement, definitely. More mature statement, but no problem. We want to inject this transcendental poison. Prabhupada says Hare Krishna mantra and devotion as transcendental poison. Want to inject transcendental poison. In fact, it's not his concoction. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ante Leela, Mahaprabhu says this. Okay. That this bhakti is like wish. It's a poison. That Srimati Radharani is saying to Krishna. That your devotion is like a poison, but it's a sweet poison. We know it's a poison, but we can't help it taking. And we get poisons. Prabhupada is using the same. Prabhupada never says anything from his mind. So when you're reading Prabhupada books or statements, definitely the source is some verse. Some verse is there somewhere. You might not know, but so that's one practice or one fun game you can do. You can read statement and then you can try to figure out from where he has taken this. Inject transcendental poison into the heart of Maya serpent bitten people in general. Krishna consciousness by the sound of Hare Krishna. It continues for a moment in the brain of the rascals, then certainly it will act in future to help them to become Krishna consciousness. And that's what Prabhupada says. When you chant, it continues in the brain for some time, but in future it will bring them to Krishna.
Trying to explain that line. Vibrate for brain.
Vibrate for brain, he's trying to explain. In Bhagavad Gita it is said, Salpam api asya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. See, Prabhupada is quoting that verse now. Bhayat means fearfulness. Even a slight injection of this transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna, I am adding Hare Krishna, can save one from the greatest of dangers. Even a slight contact with this can save you from greatest of dangers. In future, of course, we shall not be very cheap playthings in the hands of so-called public leaders in the kingdom of fire. We simply give them a little chance to serve Krishna, but we cannot accept the leadership. So Prabhupada is saying, okay, fine. Probably Brahmanand Prabhu might have asked about leaders and something he might have asked. So Prabhupada is saying, no problem. We'll give them Hare Krishna mantra, but we'll not come under their control. We don't want to flatter them, leaders and all those things. We give them Krishna consciousness. In future, therefore, we shall agree to such publicity if they publish about ourselves exclusively. So I think Brahmanand Prabhu might have been in favor of calling public leaders in the program and then do propaganda. Prabhupada says, fine, you can call them, you can give them Krishna consciousness, but they should not be the man of the day. We should be the man of the day. We have to be publicized, not they. Because they come, then people look at them and they are publicized. Prabhupada says, then that is not good. Okay, I think the television proposal as written by you may be utilized in the way. Prabhupada says, better than calling them is go in television and do propaganda in that. Prabhupada is thinking of television at that time, you can imagine.
68, huh?
68 in America. It just started. And now we have television, but nobody comes on television. ISKCON is not utilizing.
That Atma series was coming for some.
But I don't know, it stopped somehow afterwards.
In Telugu they have some programs.
In Telugu they have. But actually we should have many, television. Everybody should be coming on television. Television is everywhere.
There should be a channel.
Yeah, there should be a channel, something like that. There should be, yeah. Yes, I saw late Ambassador Mr. B.K. Nehru at San Francisco Hotel, and he and his wife received me well. The ambassador introduced me also with the Consul General Mr. Bajpai. Probably there is some other Bajpai. So the meeting was nice, and I understand that he has recommended my case as a permanent immigrant to the immigration department. Prabhupada might be applying for permanent immigration. His assistant and secretaries in embassy and consulate general have written me letters to confirming this. Prabhupada was also expert in actually convincing people. Actually in Madras, I was reading, there was one person, he was some property dealer or something. So he was coming to Prabhupada to convince Prabhupada that he should buy that property. And he wanted to take that commission. So devotees already told, see, he's coming with this intention. Prabhupada said, let him come. He came, and then Prabhupada talked with him for 3 hours, and he just changed everything. He took everything. He convinced him he should give us a donation, and he gave donation without even charging. Prabhupada was like that. Prabhupada was very, very sharp. He was a businessman, first of all. He knew how to handle people. So that's why Prabhupada was unique. He was expert in spirituality, he was expert in material things, expert in management, expert in cooking, expert in music. So Krishna made him into an acharya. Perfect, expert in teaching females how to wear sari. And he was a householder, so he taught them what Americans, they don't understand what to do. So by letters you can know how expert he was. They have promised that they will do their best in getting my permanent visa, but usually it takes 5 to 6 months to complete the process. We have, however, submitted the immigration application by first week of January 1968. So I think I shall have to wait for securing the visa. I quite appreciate your proposal that you cannot go out until 2 books are published. Brahmanand might be saying how to publish. And now Prabhupada says, I think you are missing the 4 points of Krishna's super excellent qualities to be added in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. So he might be writing something about Lord Chaitanya. So Krishna's all avatars have 60 qualities. Krishna has 64.
64, yes.
What are those? Don't see there.
Playing flute, right?
Okay, playing flute. No avatar plays flute. And so playing flute is called as, so in Sanskrit it is called as Venu Madhuri. Second?
Leela Madhuri.
Yeah, Leela Madhuri. His pastimes are very different from pastimes of other avatar. In no avatar, he is going to play with friends, gopis, or maybe abuse gopis, or gopis are abusing. It's a different kind of Leela Madhuri. And then it is Rupa Madhuri. His form is excellently beautiful, more than Ram, more than Vishnu. His standing pose is different, no? Nobody stands like that. All are standing like this or like that, but his Tribhanga Lalita form. So that's Rup Madhuri. And the fourth is Manu Madhuri, Leela Madhuri, Rup Madhuri, and Prem Madhuri. He exchanges love with everybody. And all kind of love. Dase, Sakhe, Vatsalya, Madhure. He says, you love me in any way, I am ready to reciprocate. That's...
Every incarnation gives that, right, Prabhuji? In some way or form?
No, not all love. With Ram, you can't make connection in Madhure Bhav. Only as a son, as a friend, and in friend also that too with a limit, with Maryada. So Sugriv cannot climb one shoulders of Ram. He can't even. Hanuman cannot. So that's Sakhe without awe and reverence, and Madhure. That's not there in Ram Leela. And Vishnu only Dasya. You can't even make friends with him. He's God. So that is Prem Madhuri. Prabhupada writes, he can create continuous waves of transcendental pastimes, Leela Madhuri, which can even attract Vishnu. That's the sweetness of his pastimes. It even attracts Vishnu. Vishnu wanted to see Krishna, you know this,
I know that.
in pastimes. So Krishna took Arjuna. His super excellent beauty in midst of Radharani and her associates. So his Rup Madhuri, he looks very beautiful with Radha and all other gopis. His super excellent sound of transcendental flute, Venu Madhuri. His super excellent beauty cannot be surpassed by anyone in the three words. So, yeah. So, I hope you will add these points to complete the vacancy. Four qualities. Prabhupada might have read the article and he saw that this is missing. Your essay for the booklet is also the script for new record. I am very glad that Jadu Rani is inspecting our fine arts department. So Jadu Rani was one of the disciples of Prabhupada. She was in arts. Prabhupada told her to paint. She asked Prabhupada, what can I do for Krishna? Prabhupada said, okay, you were a painter, so you start painting for Krishna. See, Prabhupada immediately engaged them. Okay, paint for Krishna. Okay, you're a manager, manage for him. Okay, you're a cook for him. Pradyum, he was Sanskrit scholar. Okay, Prabhupada said, become my Sanskrit secretary. And Prabhupada immediately used to give post. That's what I saw, because if you give post, you feel, okay, yes, I'm like that. Okay, you're my Sanskrit secretary. Okay, yes, I'm Prabhupada. So he used to name that post, so that they feel, I'm doing some important thing, and I'm being deputed by Prabhupada to do this. So just like Bhakti Charu Maharaj, when he came and served Prabhupada said, he just few days he was there. Prabhupada said, okay, now you're my personal servant. And he was thinking, I am so new and personal servant. So okay, this is your duty now. This is your post, and he was happy. So that's the idea. You should give post to people according to their... So Jadu Rani is inspecting a fine art department. It is very much gratifying. Please offer my blessings to new boy John. Some boy might have joined John. I am very much anxious to get a position as non-government organization in the UN. Please try for it for your best. You see, Prabhupada always thought big. 1968 just started his institution. I think in 1967 Prabhupada actually really registered it. And now in 1968 he is thinking, this is what? This was February. And he is thinking that his organization will become NGO in UN. Then Prabhupada is thinking big. I was always told, think big. Always think big. If you think 100%, you will achieve 80%. If you think 40%, you will achieve 20%. That's the rule of business also, no? Is it? Mm-hmm. If you think big, you achieve more. Prabhupada always said, shoot a rhinoceros. You know this? Mm-hmm. Shoot a rhinoceros. Because it is very difficult to shoot a rhinoceros. His skin is like a steel. bullet doesn't pierce. So you have to shoot it here. But you have a horn here, so you can't shoot him to have proper angle. Prabhupada says if you shoot him, people glorify you. If you don't shoot him, still people will glorify you. You have taken such a risk. And he went to shoot rhinoceros. Oh my God. So both ways you are okay. So if you think big, if you achieve, people glorify you. If you don't achieve, still people say, okay, at least he was thinking big things, we are not even thinking. So that way Prabhupada said. Yet the essay for the booklet is also the script for new record. I am very glad that Jadu Rani, this we did. I have received letter from SS Vrajvasi company that by the approach of Hitsaran Sharma, they have immediately executed the order, something. And a copy of letter is already there in New York. Documents expected very soon. I have also received letter from United Shipping Corporation that books, harmoniums, kartal, mridangas are already shipped on 14 January and expected to arrive here in America by 20th of February. Prabhupada got all these mridanga and all these from. Hope you are well. Rabbi Well-Wisher A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. So Prabhupada is not just thinking of philosophy. Prabhupada is very much there on the ground.
Management and advice and counseling and everything.
And seeing how things are happening. Prabhupada is fully active there. And that's what a leader, If leader is not active, then nobody will be active. You're sitting and ordering and, okay, then what you are doing? What you are doing? So Prabhupada was doing twice as others were doing, considering his age. And that's why devotees were inspired. Prabhupada was getting an entire whole night, Devotees was thinking we are doing what Prabhupada is doing so much. So leader has to be in the front, not at the back. What happens nowadays, no? Nowadays, okay, go and fight, and commander is sitting in the control room. Okay, shoot. We have to be there, Then people get inspired. Just like previous battles used to happen like that, no?
Yeah.
King was in the front.
Rana Pratap and all.
And then people are following. Not that from back, okay, attack, and he's standing. That's complete nonsense. Prabhupada always thought of himself as a spiritual warrior. And he said that I will die like a soldier, not like a rotten old man sitting in one place and die. Prabhupada said, take me for preaching. Even he was very old, he was on the bed. He said, but I am bored, I want to go on for preaching. And disciples told Prabhupada, you will die. You will leave your body.
Go for a parikrama, I think.
No, but afterwards when he went okay, he told, I want to go to foreign countries. 1977, London he went. And devotee was saying no. His doctor was saying no. He was saying, come on. Prabhupada says, oh, no problem, even if I die, that's good. At least I am dying on battlefield preaching, not just lying down on bed in Vrindavan. His whole understanding was different.
Yeah, in fact, in that video, till the last time he's
preaching, he's preaching.
People are recording it.
Yeah,
and he's speaking Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah. Commentaries.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So that's Prabhupada. So these letters are very nice. If you read your letters, no, you are never going to leave enthusiasm. You will definitely become enthusiastic just by reading letters. This is letters of Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Any questions, or we are going to stop here now?
Prabhuji, you mentioned one, Prabhu, like how a leader will give the guidance. But at the same time, you mentioned like how we will tell the details also. Right? That's again the little
what details?
He will help them how to...
No, he tells them how to execute. He tells them vision, tells them plan. But when they execute, then he doesn't put his medals around always, no? What we do. When the person is doing, okay, why are you doing this? You should have done like this, like this, like this. No, not always. And if they ask him, then he will tell them. If you don't ask him, okay, this is a plan, do it, no problem. Show me the result. That, do you understand? Not always working and keeping a control, keeping a vigil. No. You start the project, no plan, give them advice, do it. If you have some problem, ask me, otherwise do it yourself. Apply your brain. Like that. But support system is there. Always. Okay. Any other question you want to ask? Or somebody?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Anybody on the call would like to ask?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, next part, when, like as you said, that he sometimes surprises people of his responses and what the devotees expect him to do like this, but he has done, and then they are not able to understand like what he has done because of his level of experience and elevation in consciousness. I mean, could you give some examples for that?
What is this? I can't understand what you're saying. Like
your voice is breaking.
Yeah, it's like I can't really get your point. I mean to say, he does something and people cannot realize that what he did. That's what you're asking?
Yeah, like in the Chennai thing you said, right, that person who came to, actually he's coming for that purpose, but he totally, he made him give donation also.
Yeah. So,
and then in somewhere, I mean this is all hearsay, but since you have read, I wanted to ask you, there is a Montreal, or some, I'm not sure which temple, there was a huge payment to be made, and half of the payment, I mean he got it, he was first asking for.
Yeah. I think it was. I think it's somewhere America, Canada, or Montreal, somewhere. Yeah, I have read that. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. I have to think of examples, but he was expert in that. I don't know. I have to think of them. I can just think on spot now. But there are examples like that.
Prabhuji, what is so? I mean, my question was, he understood people and he engaged them in their service according to their nature and capability.
Yeah.
And that's a people skill, right? Not everybody has that.
Yeah. Not everybody has that, but if we apply our mind and apply ourselves to this process and pray to Krishna, He will give you this skill. If you want this skill, He will give you. But we even don't want this. Like we even don't know that this is something like this exists. And Prabhupada had skill like this. So if you're reading about Prabhupada, then again you will also be inspired that Prabhupada has such a qualities and I should also possess for service of Krishna. Krishna will give you if you have that desire. But people don't read Prabhupada books and letters, so they don't even know that you have to do like that. So that skill doesn't come. But the point is, people who preach, then they will want this skill. If you don't preach, then you don't want this skill. No, like for what? So, as we preach more and more, we actually eager to have this skill because we want to help people. So if we selflessly preach and really want to help them, then Krishna will inspire and give you this skill. Definitely. Like that.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, Prabhupada's personality is so deep and so nice. I mean, as you say that many other organizations, they so-called bogus, they closely follow their leaders.
Yeah. Like that.
We have to do that for our own benefit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, I think that's it. We'll finish it here. I think she's only on the call.
I think there are 2-3 people.
Just you can tell that's it.
Hare Krishna, thank you for joining for today. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. So, Hare Krishna.